Hello, potato. I have no clue this is working because I never go live, but I'm hoping it does. I'm gonna wait for the others to see if they can join. Actually, if you could. Oh, wait, there's two more people. Hello. I'm gonna see who's. Oh, I can't check who's in here. Okay. Where was Ruby in her explanation? Because I cannot entirely remember. I was zoning out halfway through it. I'll just rewatch her live stream.
Just say, look, I'm sorry, let's just forgive each other. It was a stupid argument. Things need to, I just don't do. And I knew that Angelic was PMing her because, I was like, how would you know about an argument? You knew she was.
Okay, I have no clue where she exactly left off, so I'm just gonna say the story again, but in a shorter version. So, I've known Ruby, or Pickles, or whatever you want to call her. I've known her for around almost 3 years now, and no matter how many versions of the server we have, that's someone with the argument. Basically, hey. Sorry, I'm just re-explaining the story from a shorter point of view. So, the current server right now is the third version of the Pickle server. It was originally the Legend Twins from the very beginning, around that time, at least from when I met Ruby. And so I had originally went on a 6-month break because I had to deal with a lot of health problems and stuff like that. So I took a 6-month break. And when I came back, there was this girl named Ari, or Angelic Angel, and she seemed to be a nice person, although there were some things that felt off about her, but I chose to ignore it. And basically, fast forward to the other day, as you guys know, Summer Freedom, if I remember correctly, that's your name. Summer Freedom joined, and basically, we don't know what your age is when you join our server unless you have it in your Discord bio. And so originally when Summer joined, we didn't know she was 11 years old. Now, at this time, I wasn't in the country. I wasn't in my the normal country I'm in. So I had to rely on a VPN for my Discord to work. But at the final 2 weeks before I came home, my VPN stopped working, so I couldn't access Discord. And at the time, that's when Summer joined. And basically, Angelic Angel started having the most random dramatic beef with Summer because she's 11 years old. And we obviously did not know that she was 11 years old. And sorry, I have no clue what language that is. We didn't know she was 11 years old. Now, at the time, you have to remember, I wasn't there. I was I was still in another country, which was at the time my Discord didn't work. Now, when I came back, the night before I came back, Ruby messaged me on WhatsApp. She was very upset. She was basically just she was really hurt. And she told me what had happened, and I told her that once I got back to the country that I live in, I would get back my Discord, see if it's working again, and I would check everything out. Now, when I got back, I read through the texts, and something that I will say is it was so unnecessary to the point where hello, dragon fruit. Yes, that is the first beef. Now, basically, I'm getting stressed out about this now, but anyway, basically, after she had joined and I came back home to my country, sorry. After I came home, I checked the Discord and I had read through the text. I was talking with Ruby. She was very physically upset. She was, I believe she was crying actually at one point when she was on call with someone else in the Discord server. And basically, why the hell is there an ice cream truck right now? Anyway, ignore that. I read through everything. And eventually, Ruby had decided that she was going to apologize to see if she could fix everything and have the server be back to normal to a certain point, but she had already agreed that she would try and distance herself from Angelic Angel because she personally didn't want to deal with more stress and drama, and because there was just at the time she was really stressed, and currently Ruby's going through a lot medical wise. She had a surgery on her leg, and in the past she was also in the hospital. So right now, whenever she gets too stressed, she could have a seizure. And so I suppose she just wanted to fix everything before she got more stressed. And the thing is, right, earlier today, the drama started again, and basically, all hell broke loose. Yes, thank you, Potato. Angelic Angel is Ari. All hell broke loose, and there was people in our server. After we had kicked Ari from the server, we had people in the server screenshotting and telling her what had happened and stuff like that. And a bunch of her alt accounts were still in the server that we didn't know about. Now, we basically, for almost over an hour, we had a conversation about how from now on, we're going to change the server rules, and we basically removed a bunch of the people from our server that never interacted with anybody, never talked, was never online and engaging in the server because we didn't want to risk anything. And basically, it was hell. And yeah, a lot happened. We were talking about how there was a lot basically dragon fruit. I'm pretty sure Ruby has explained why to Sarah. If not, she will, because we were talking about that earlier before we live streamed. Because me and her had a private call during the entire thing. Now, for me, whenever I get stressed out, my mind blanks. I start to lose, like, my memory. So the thing is still hazy, but I have screenshots. I can post them later. But basically, the reason why you, Dragon Fruit, Nori, you sound so hypocritical. I'm sorry, but you sound genuinely so hypocritical. It is genuinely so the audacity of a 16-plus-year-old having beef with an 11-year-old. Now, there are points. I'm not going to deny there are points that she was right about, but her approach was so wrong. Yes, I agree, Potato. But her approach to the situation was very wrong. She was very rude and she was blunt. Now, I get some people's personalities are blunt. I'm most of the time also blunt. I try to stop it because I know it's rude. But her approach on the entire situation, it was unnecessary. And it was just, I get it. There's some people that have beef with an 11-year-old being in a server. But you have to understand the fact that we didn't know that Summer was 11 until she had told us she was 11. But you have to get one thing straight. Her mother also joined the server to supervise her in the server because obviously her child is 11 years old with a bunch of people she had barely met. So her mother was there. She was supervising her child. Now, her mother, Bella Freedom, she didn't speak. Well, she did. She was just basically, she was like supervising her child, Summer, and she, although she didn't get into any of our business, and that's respectful. Yeah, Summer told her age when she joined, but not initially. It was only when she gave out her info because in our server, when you join, you are needed to sign in. So basically, you have to give us your preferred name, what you would like us to call you, random facts about you if you'd like, and some people put their age. Sorry about that. I had to reply to a family member. Anyway, what was I about? Basically, when you join our server, we have this sign-in section where you have to basically do an introduction, your preferred name, or what you would like us to call you. Some people put their age, but it is not mandatory. Um, Now, Summer did put her age, and that was when we found out that she was 11. And now her mother is over the age of 40, as a normal mother would be. Some mothers are older, some mothers are younger, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And now it's not like she interacted or engaged with all of us. She was only there. She only talked when necessary. She was supervising her child, her 11-year-old child. She didn't engage with anyone. She wasn't creepy. She was just there. Now, I get it from my personal experience that having a older person in a server full of, teenagers, or in Summer's case, a child. Now, I know that's some people get uncomfortable with that. Now, from my personal experience with Ruby, me and her share a lot of trauma together, and we were in this old club on Horse Showing Tales called Flaming Wolves, and there owner was, I don't exactly remember how old she was, but she was an older woman, and she was just not kind. And I get, again, Dragonfruit, I get that you are uncomfortable because she's 44, not 55, unless you're talking about Flame. Anyway, going past that, again, I'm not going to deny there were points that Angelic Angel wasn't wrong about. I get it, there are pros and cons of having a younger person in our group and the pros and cons of having an older person in our group, but you have to remember that. Okay, well, apparently Alpha Flame is 55 years old. Basically, now from my understanding, Summer Freedom, or the Summer Squad HRT, joined because she was probably a fan of Ruby's, and she had probably asked her mother if she could join, and her mother probably said yes, but she wanted to supervise her, as a good mother does. Okay, she joined. Now, like I said, Bella, Summer's mother, didn't engage with anyone unless necessary, if it regarded Summer. Now, again, I know that she's an older woman, she's a mother, the mother of this 11-year-old girl. Now, everything was fine. We were talking, her mother wasn't engaging, she was just supervising. She didn't do anything, she didn't say anything, she wasn't creepy. She was there. I get her presence may be quote unquote creepy, and I can understand why. But again, my point is, yeah, I'm just saying, she didn't talk or engage to the point where, like, we were, like, she was acting like she's everyone's friend. She was being nice. She asked how everyone's day was. And, you know, being a member of a server without being weird or creepy, she was there to supervise her child, who is underage. Again, like I said, Angelic's points, some of them were true. Again, I'm not going to deny any of that. But her approach was very unnecessary. Now, the entire thing of it, I get it. If everyone has their opinions, and everyone has their own ideals or approaches. But the thing is, right, our server is about respect, and she was not respectful. She was inappropriate, she was very disrespectful and rude. Not only about her approach to the situation, but just in general. Now, I'm not going to bring up old news or old things that to some people would think that I would use. Like, I'm basically just not going to bring up things from the past that most people would normally use to, put it against them. I don't want to do that. I never wanted drama. I hate it. My stress levels go through the roof. My heart doesn't get enough blood, so my heart can't keep up with my stress levels. So I hate drama. But this has gotten to the point where I thought Angelic Angel was a sweetheart. She was kind, she was nice, but I will say there was points in my time after leaving for 6 months and joining back into the server due to a mental health and health break. Now, when I joined back, obviously I met her. She was nice in the beginning, like as everyone is, like everyone was nice. The server was welcoming, and obviously I was accepted back. Like I said, I've known Ruby for almost 3 years now, and the thing that really disappoints me in people is when you think they're nice, but they show their true colors when things don't go their way. Now, I get it, she had an opinion about this 11-year-old girl, and I understand that, But like I said, her approach was incredibly unnecessary. She was rude, she was disrespectful, she wasn't kind about it at all. And she posted it about the most ironic thing was that this entire thing was that she was upset there was an 11-year-old girl in the server with her mother. But the most ironic thing she did was she took screenshots of our Discord chat with the 11-year-old girl's texts in there, and she posted it to her YouTube channel with over 400 subscribers. We only have maybe 20 or less people in our server. I haven't counted, right? But we have 20 or less people in our server. She has 400 subscribers, and she's posting screenshots of texts with this child, this 11-year-old girl's text in it, and she's complaining about how we shouldn't have an 11-year-old girl in our server, or whatever point she was making, but she's posting a screenshot with said 11-year-old girl's texts, with her Discord user, with her name, and the things we were talking about. And there's some people in our server that do not like. I'm sorry it was embarrassing, but like, again, there's people in our server that do not want their texts or usernames on the internet. Because at this point, we all know how the internet is, including this situation. It all involves the internet. But the thing is, I just need you guys to understand that yes, there were points that were true and that I agree with. I'm not going to deny that whatsoever. But her attitude and approach were absolutely so disrespectful. And it was the fact that this entire thing started all because Ruby, or Pickles, decided to tell her to be more respectful and kinder in a server that's built on respect and kindness. To tell a 16-year-old plus person to be kinder to an 11-year-old person. That was all that happened. She told her to be kinder. She's obviously older kids are supposed to be nicer to younger kids. They're supposed to be nice to them. And all Ruby wanted was to tell her to be kinder. But Ari turned it into the whole thing, and then our server, when I wasn't there because I was in a different country where Discord didn't work, the entire thing exploded from there. All because Ruby told her to be kinder and softer with her. Sorry. All because of that. And then again today, the same situation about how there's 11. Yeah, she did. And obviously, I did too. I did once in a while. I swore once in a while because that's just the person I am. That's how I express myself. That's my personality, and I get it. But her swearing was incredibly unnecessary. Yes, in her videos as well. In the video I was talking about with Summer's text, she was swearing in the video. The titles were "fuck you too" or whatever. Excuse my language. I'm trying not to swear because that's not the example I want to set right now, especially when I'm trying to explain a situation involving teenagers and kids and stuff. Our server is built on the fact that we have to respect each other, be kind, no matter the age, because even if it wasn't in a server, a 16-plus-year-old person would have to be nice to an 11-year-old girl, or that's just bullying and it's not kind. We were all 11 once, or we all will be 11 once in our life. Everyone is. And from my experience when I was 11, I had the most horrendous time being an 11-year-old. I was bullied. I had no friends. No one was ever nice to me. That's why I was online. I had Discord since I was like 9 years old because I was lonely, because our world today is so messed up that people think they can be disrespectful to one another whenever they want. They can say whatever they think without the consequences. They think they can do whatever they want. Life was hell from the age of 9 for me. So for a 16-plus-year-old girl to be harassing and being rude to an 11-year-old girl with her mother in the server with her. And sorry, potato, sorry, I'm getting stressed out and my heart's beating really quick. I have my heart medication next to me just in case. But anyway, yes, Angelic Angel, I do agree with your points. As I said, there are points that you've stated that I agree with, and I'm not going to deny that. But the thing is that your approach was fairly rude and disrespectful. I feel like, in my opinion, we could have talked it out. We could have compromised. We could have made a separate server for kids of younger ages that watch Ruby's videos. And we could have had a server for older people. But the thing is, right, our server, before she joined, was just consisted of people under the age of 18. See, from Ruby's point of view, right, I'm not going to speak for her entirely, okay, Ari? Because obviously I'm not her, she's not me, no one's anyone else. There have been so many situations where Ruby thought that there was so much unnecessary drama to the point where she didn't want to associate with someone who causes a lot of drama or have gotten into a fight with and they're not close anymore. Obviously, you're not going to want to be friends with someone like that because it feels uncomfortable after you fight with someone, but neither side fully forgives each other. It's weird. And there is so much that, like, yeah, I know it's life. But the thing is that we have to understand that you, as a 16-plus-year-old girl, who, like, your approach was just really unnecessary towards an 11-year-old girl with her mother present at the time. Now, obviously, I don't know if her mother was watching at the exact time, but obviously her mother is able to look through the chats whenever she wants. And like I said, some people feel weird about having an older woman, but see, obviously texting is about responding to people, but your approach and your manners towards an 11-year-old girl, you as a 16-plus-year-old person talking to an 11-year-old girl, that was so unnecessary, and it was rude. Now, we could have compromised. We could have talked nicely, figured out a solution to the problem. Like I said, we could have made a server for the younger people and a server for the older people. We could have done that. But instead, the entire thing exploded to a thing where there was a bunch of disrespect. We had a bunch of betrayal, whether it was intentional, unintentional, or just people were mixed up into it. Now, the people that were inactive in our server, I didn't ban them, I kicked them. Now, on Ruby's YouTube channel, her Discord link is open to anyone. They can always join back, but they're never engaging, they're never online, they never talk. And it's just that I've known Ruby for so long. We've shared so many past traumas together. We've been through so much together, including the drama of this server. We have been through so much, and we know how it ends every time. disrespectfulness, rudeness, drama, it all results in the same ending. You either block them and remove them from your server for no more drama, which means there's possible no more drama in the future with the same person, or you have to talk it out, but there is absolute no trust between the relationships between the people. Now, me and Ruby right now, if we are under a lot of stress, our bodies can't handle it. So the solution right now, the best probability of the solution for our current states was to just remove the people that were stressing us out, that caused drama or problems. And we made it very clear, me and Ruby made it very clear in our server that the rest of the people in the server were free to talk to, and you, Ari, and Dragonfruit, and the rest of the people that were removed, however you want. Because we have no right to tell you who to be friends with. Just the only thing that we asked for was that you don't talk about them in the server. It's like the same thing if you have PTSD and someone is deliberately talking about your PTSD or whatever triggers your PTSD. Now, obviously, I'm not saying it's that dramatic. Obviously, it's not going to give us PTSD, but it's uncomfortable to talk about because as soon as you remember the person, you remember the drama and everything that happened, you remember the stress. The stress comes back to you, and it's not a good feeling. So it's just that you need to understand that you were removed because you were disrespectful or you were involved with the drama. Now, like I said, everyone else in the server is welcome to talk to you however freely they want, however they want. Okay, I've made that very clear in the chat at the time. I've made it very clear that the people in the server could talk to you guys whenever you want. Just that the only thing that we asked for was to not mention this entire situation, the drama, and the people. Now, Dragonfruit. Ruby felt really betrayed that you were against her in the first situation where Ruby had asked Ari to be kinder, to be nicer to the 11-year-old. She felt really betrayed. She felt really betrayed. The fact that you were defending everyone in the server was against her and no one stood up for her. She was really offended, especially after she had just met you in real life. She thought you were an amazing person. She thought you were really nice. But she felt really betrayed by the fact that you weren't backing her up in the first situation of the drama where she told Ari nicely to be kinder and less rude with the 11-year-old girl. Now, obviously, Dragonfruit, I wasn't there for the first beginning of this entire situation, but I read back on the entire thing. As soon as my plane landed and I got my mobile service, I read through everything. See, the thing is, right? I'm not Ruby. Ruby's not me. I'm not anyone. Nobody's anyone else. They're their own people. We all feel different things. We all have our own sides of the story, right? We have our own ideals, opinions, thoughts, personalities. We have our own, basically everything, right? So obviously, we're all going to feel different about the situation, including Ruby. Now, she probably felt that you and everyone else in the server, not everyone, okay, there were people that defended her, but the majority of the server was against her. And you may not have been in that situation before, but it feels very overwhelming. Thoughts fill your mind, you get stressed, you're panicking, and it's even worse for her because she's the owner of the server. She's the one that started it. She's the one that started it. And for her to have the people in her server, the one that she made, to be against her or surrounding her and just siding with one person or leading towards one person, it's overwhelming. Especially in her situation. She's stuck in her house. She had a surgery on her foot. She can't move around. She can, but she has to rely on a granny walker. She has to hop around her house. We were on call yesterday. She had to go to the bathroom. She had to hop to the bathroom. She can't go out. She's frustrated because she's a person that likes to go out. And she's even more frustrated and overwhelmed when the entire server consists of people and the server that she made are against her or overwhelming her. Obviously, she's going to be really upset and she's going to feel betrayed, and she's not going to want to be friends with people who go against her or make her feel overwhelmed. No one's going to want that. No one likes to have a friend that makes them feel overwhelmed, that makes them feel stressed, that makes them panic. No one wants that, especially not on her state. Like, it's just that it's honestly astonishing to me. And the thing is, right, Ruby can't balance on crutches. Now, I've never broken or sprained anything, or anything like that, and I've never touched crutches. I've only seen them, right? And my balance is really bad. I probably wouldn't be able to either, so she has to rely on a granny walker. But you don't know what her house layout is. You don't know how big her house is. You don't know if a granny walker can fit everywhere in her house. You don't know what devices or things that can help her move around can fit in her house. So maybe she has to hop to her bathroom to go to the bathroom, as a person does, right? And she's stuck in her house all day because her doctor's orders are that she shouldn't move around, she should stay indoors and calm down, because she shared in her server a while back she had a lot of health problems. She has seizures now and then. So it makes it worse. She's overwhelmed, she's frustrated from being stuck inside. So, in her point of view, now imagine you're a person who loves going outside, loves to go out and adventure, is stuck indoors because you've had a surgery on your leg, and doctor's orders are you can't go outside, you can't move around too much, your house, whatever house layout you have, may not be able to fit the devices that you're using to help and aid you. I'll tell her about that later. Streamed, and I was gonna tell her. I told her that I was gonna tell them those things, but I'll tell her again just in case. Anyway. Anyway. Like I said, just imagine you're her. Obviously, you're not gonna be exactly her. My point isn't saying that, oh, you're her, blah, blah, blah. You feel the same things as her. No, you don't. No one feels the same things. You might feel similar, but you ain't the same. Welcome back, Summer. It's just the fact that it was so unnecessary. We could have compromised. We could have talked everything out. But the approach to the entire situation was so unnecessary. And it was just unbelievably it was ridiculous. Like, my heart rate is 145 right now, and I'm sitting down. Exactly, we could have talked it out like normal people. We could have. But the approach, especially your approach on the entire thing, was so unnecessary to the point we couldn't have talked it out at this point. Sorry, I know it's really long, but if I don't get my point out, it's gonna go on and people are gonna get agitated because they don't know the story or there's so much drama. Now you're all welcome to leave. I don't care, but I'm still gonna leave this live stream up because there are people who want to know the story. Sorry, Potato, I don't want to be rude. I'm just stressed out and I'm getting frustrated. But the entire thing, it was just so unnecessary. We could have talked it out. We could have compromised. We could have made a server for the younger people. We could have made a server for the older people. And we could have talked it out. We could have made decisions that would have benefited everyone. Now, the thing is, right, it's just the fact that we tried. Ruby tried from the very beginning. She told Ari, or Angelic Angel, to be kinder. And it exploded. See, horse riding tails, a channel is a different thing, unless you're talking about the Discord server. But no, see, like, a channel also wouldn't work. It would have to be separate servers, because although we could set the thing is, right, the server. There are commands in Discord in servers where sorry, whenever I'm stressed, I can't think straight, and I'm forgetting my words. My heart rate is currently 156 right now. Anyway. Exactly. It's a server based on a kids game with a community who is trying to be respectful and kind to everyone. And the thing is, right, Discord has commands. Although you can limit access to channels where you can't text, you can still read through everything. So the only Yes, you have a point. Discord is 13 plus, but you have to remember her mother was there supervising her. She didn't engage in normal conversations. Her mother only asked us how we were, or good morning, or whatever. Basic conversation, like when you see someone that you know, but you don't know well, but you pass by them in the street, you're like, oh, hey, how are you? Good morning, or whatever. It's normal, right? And so Summer is 11. She's turning 12 this year, and then next year her birthday is 13. Yeah. We haven't got to September yet, so she's still 11. Anyway, it's just that the entire situation, the entire reason why I had left without telling anyone that I was going on a break for 6 months was because there was so much drama at the time, I physically couldn't get it out. I was frustrated. I was stressed out. At the time, my mental health was really bad. I had no friends. I had no one. My only option was to leave the stress, so I disappeared for 6 months. I stopped posting to my YouTube around a year ago, and I left Discord without telling anyone for 6 months. I get it, it was stupid, and that's on me, okay? That's on me. I take full responsibility for leaving without explanation, right? But for me to come back, and for it to just be immediate drama, it makes me want to leave again. Because as I said, my body can't handle too much stress. There was so much. I had so many hospital visits while I was in a different country because my stress levels were so high, my body couldn't function normally. I overthink about everything. I'm stressed out all the time. I get stressed about going down the stairs. For no reason. I'm just a stressed out person. And for me to come back after a 6 month break, finally having a better mental health state. But at the time when I joined back in the Discord server around 3 months ago, or however long ago I joined back, I'm pretty sure I joined back in like May. It's August. It's been like 3 months or more. I don't know. But obviously I've known Ruby for 3 years. Almost 3 years. And stuff like that. But like, it's just the fact that like mental health isn't a thing that's easy for people. Obviously, well, no shit. Sorry, ignore my language. This is what happens when I'm stressed. I just blurt out things I don't mean to. But thank you, Potato. I will. I'm just gonna take some heart medication real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry, I'm back. As I was saying, my mental health has been always really poor. Starting from when I was really young. Now, it didn't help that my parents, they don't fully, they can't, they understand most. I'm not fully Irish, right? I'm half Irish. I'm half Irish and half Chinese. My parents were from China. I was bullied for that ever since I was younger. I had no friends growing up, all because I was Asian. I was Chinese. People said whenever I was in class, people decided, oh no, I'm bored. I'm gonna bully her. Oh, oh, I bet dog is really tasty, huh? Or like, they just basically spout all this random crap about how I ate dogs. They would pull their eyes to make them really small. I have screenshots of people posting themselves online saying being Chinese with their eyes pulled back, laughing as if it's nothing. But it took such a bad toll on my mental health to the point where I was moody, I had a temper, I have anger issues. I have never had like proper therapy before. I've only talked to people online. Now, I'm not trying to turn this into some trauma dump or venting or whatever the hell. But the thing is, right, you have to understand the fact that there is so much unnecessary drama that happens all the time that could have been like could have been solved very easily. But it's a thing that I get it, everyone's different, we have our own ideals, opinions, thoughts. But it's really frustrating when people can't compromise and we can't talk it out to the point where the only solution is to just block and move on. Exactly. Every emotion gets pent up. The reason why the reason why I have memory problems is because it's a trauma related response. Every time I'm too mentally unstable or I'm not in a good mental state, I slowly start to lose my memories. And sometimes I sometimes can't even remember what I did like 5 minutes ago. I can't remember. School is hell for me because I can't remember anything. I'm failing all my tests, all because I was bullied when I was younger, which resulted in my mental state being so poor, I can't remember anything. My mental health is so bad to the point where when I talk to online therapists, they diagnosed me straight away, right? I'm not going to say what I have, but it involves my personality. I lash out. I have these personality like fluctuations where suddenly I love a person platonically, or I love them like they're really important to me. The next moment, the simplest word, a letter even, could make me hate them. I get irritated with them. I don't want anything to do with them. And it's so bad to the point where even if I had friends, I don't keep them because they end up getting tired of me. Or people from my past tell them lies about me and turn them against me, all because I'm Chinese. I do apologize, or I try, but sometimes it gets to the point where people have heard rumors, or people, my old bullies, tell them shit that they think is so real that they don't want to talk to me. I genuinely have no friends in real life. The only people I have is the people on my Discord server. I have no one else. And for me to see there's so much drama happening in a Discord server that I am supposed to feel safe in, that people, not just me, others are supposed to feel, it's a respected space, it's a kind space, it's a space where we can talk. I get it, a lot of people, including me, don't like talking about their feelings or their situations, but they like to be there for the comfort. And it's just that I find it extremely ridiculous that this entire thing has resulted like this because we couldn't compromise. I get it, like I said, we all have different thoughts, we all act different. But no one considered even a moment that we could have just, at that time, talked it out completely and compromised and thought of ways that everyone could be happy. But there was just so much pent up frustration against you, Ari, that like it was just too much. And like I said, the results of like dramas, especially in Discord servers between the ages of like from children to adults or whatever, is either you make up, but you can never fully trust them again. You feel awkward around them, or you just block and move on. And that was the decision we made because we couldn't. All because we couldn't compromise. And it's happened multiple times. And I was so lonely as a child to the point where whenever I have a friend, I can never fully hate them no matter what they do to me. Unless they have done me wrong so many times to the point where I physically can't forgive them anymore. Like, I feel guilty about everything, even if I shouldn't. See, the thing is, right, everyone in our server currently, the people that me and Ruby trust, I can't speak for them. But for me, I'm a forgiving person. And I'm not just saying that to be like, oh, I forgive everyone, like, I'm so nice, blah, 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 blah. I can't help but forgive people because I've never had friends. I can't just let go that easily. It's hard for me to let go because I've never had friends. And so that makes me feel guilty about everything that happens, whether it's my fault or not. Even if it's not involved with me, I feel guilty about everything. If I'm laying in my bed, I feel guilty. If I'm on a walk, I feel guilty. For walking, for laying in a bed, for sitting. Like, and at this point, Potato, me and you are just twins. Anyway, but, I don't want for more drama. I don't want to make enemies. I don't want to hold grudges. But with my emotions, sometimes I'm either really forgiving or I hold grudges. Even if I make up with people, I will still hold that grudge. I will never trust them again. I won't call them. If I used to be friends with someone, I called with them every day, but they did me wrong. But I forgave them to some degree. I held that grudge against them. I never text them first. I don't talk to them. Sure, I have them on my friend list, but I don't engage with them. I don't speak to them. Because my trust was torn the moment they wronged me. So I feel like we just have to understand the fact that nothing will be the same no matter what happens. The trust won't be the same. That atmosphere won't be the same. At this point, I can't speak for everyone. But I feel like if anyone, even from the past, were to join back into our server, no one would be comfortable. Especially me and Ruby. Because me and Ruby have been here for the longest. Including Lily and Scarlet, but they're never online. Well, they are online sometimes, but they don't interact. But Lily and Scarlet. Now, a lot of people might not know who that is, but Lily and Scarlet have known Ruby since they were, like, little. They've known each other for, like, 5 or 6 years, if I'm not wrong, or more. So, me, Ruby, Lily, and Scarlet are the original people. I was in her server when it was called the Legend Twins. That was also Ruby's old YouTube channel name, the Legend Twins, if anyone knows or remembers. It's just the fact that no one would feel comfortable, especially me and Ruby, because we're always in the server. Well, obviously I'm not always in the server, but I'm there most of the time, and so is Ruby. We all have our own separate lives. Some of us schedules are not as busy as others, or some people are just hella busy. They don't have time, but they still engage now and then. They read through the text, they talk to people. It's like saying someone, imagine being friends with someone, they're so nice to you, they do everything for you, but then they do something to wrong you. But you become friends with them again because you're forgiving, but you want them because you didn't have friends. But it's just not the same. This trust isn't there. You're uncomfortable every time you're near them or you're in a server with them. For you, dragon fruit, I can't talk for Ruby. But from my point of view, Ruby has made it very clear she doesn't want to continue being the way she was with you. And I don't know if it's fixable, because obviously I'm not her. We aren't the same people. I don't know how forgiving she is. It's just that it was just, this entire thing was so unnecessary. Drama is so unnecessary to the point where it's just, your point is valid, okay? Alright. Like I said at the very beginning of this stream, was that from my point of view, I understand how it feels, right? But like I said, if we had just compromised, it could have been sorted out. If you had just told us straight, nice and respectfully, we could have compromised. For me and Ruby, right, I was also skeptical when she first joined. When her mother first joined. I thought she had put it wrong when I read that she was 44 years old. But I decided to give her the benefit of the doubt. It was until I heard the story I understood why she was there. From my point of view, yes, it was uncomfortable at the beginning, but she was only ever talking. The only time she talked was she asked how we were, or good morning. That's it. She didn't interact with us in any other way. And like I said, if you had just voiced your opinion nicely and respectfully at a slower pace, we could have compromised. We could have sorted things out. Like, do you understand where I'm coming from? Like, if everything had just gone at a slower pace, in a more respectful manner, in a nicer manner, everything could have been fixed. Even if it wasn't entirely fixed, it could have been at least a little better. Like, if you had told us that you were uncomfortable with her being there, we could have just made a group with, like, me, whoever Summer wanted to be around. And whoever felt uncomfortable wouldn't be in the server or in the group. It's just that the entire thing, the base of this entire situation was that we went at a pace that wasn't comprehensible. It went too fast. No one voiced their opinions properly. The entire situation atmosphere was disrespectful and rude. It's just that it could have gone so much better. But you have to understand that it went the way it did was because we didn't go at a slower pace. We didn't voice our opinions. No one told us they were uncomfortable fully. They didn't, like, you could have, PM'd me or, True, it did. That's why I'm saying we went at a pace too fast. If we had just went at a slower pace, it wouldn't have exploded. We could have expressed our feelings and told everyone how we felt about the situation. As well as the fact that you could have like DM'd me saying that you were uncomfortable and I could have talked to Ruby about it. Because obviously I've known Ruby longer than anyone current in the server apart from Lily and Scarlet. So it's just the fact that we went at a pace far too fast. Everything exploded. The atmosphere wasn't a good one, especially with me and Ruby's current health state. I'm sorry you had to go through that, Ari, but I just want I just want everyone to understand the point where I'm coming from. None of us wanted this to happen, but it was just, my point is, my entire point of this entire situation is that I cannot voice it enough, is the fact that we went at a pace too fast where everything erupted, and because we went so fast, people panicked, they were stressed, frustrated, spouted things they probably didn't mean. But it just happened the way it did because our pace was too fast. And I just want everyone to understand that if we had gone slower, voiced our opinions respectfully and slowly, we could have figured out solutions. And it wouldn't have turned into this entire thing where people who wanted to stay in the server aren't able to stay because the majority of the current people left in the server feel uncomfortable with the people coming back. And I made it very clear when you guys were removed that anyone in the server was free and welcome to text you guys and talk to you guys as much as they want, because as I said, I have no right to tell you who to be friends with. I can't tell you, oh no, you can't be friends with that person just because I'm not friends with them. That'd just be hypocritical of me. That'd just be stupid. But I made it very clear that you could talk to them. Like I said, the entire thing of this was that the base of the problem was that our pace was too fast. And I just want people to understand that. Like, do you all understand where I'm coming from? Like, do you get what I mean? Our pace was far too fast. Like I said, if you had just told us at a slow pace, respectfully, or even just DM'd us, like, individually, telling us, like me and Ruby, that you were uncomfortable, we could have figured it out. Dragonfruit, so the thing is, right, I never had beef with you. It was only until this entire thing happened that there's so many point of views that I can't properly voice my opinions because I'm overwhelmed. I don't understand friends that well. I don't understand situations that well, but I cope. I try to understand it. The thing is, right, I just don't want stress. My body can't handle it. My heart can't keep up with me. My heart doesn't get enough blood. I have major trust issues. I can't have trust for someone, lose that trust, and then have it back. I can't. It won't happen. And it's not going to happen. Like, we can still talk, but you just have to understand that I'm not going to be the same. I'm not going to be disrespectful towards you, or any of you for that matter. It's just the fact that I need you guys to understand that I'm not going to be the exact same how I was. Especially since this entire situation. I can't speak for Ruby, but myself, currently in my state, I don't know. I'm lost in my emotions. I take a while to process things. I can't sleep at night. I have insomnia because I'm always stressed out and my body can't keep up with it, and I'm also jet lagged. I'm 7 hours behind. Like right now, it's 8 p.m. for me, but in the country, it would have been like morning already. So I'm jet lagged and I have insomnia. It's not a good mix. But it's just that I can never clearly voice my emotions. And also, Ari, even if you think that Ruby wouldn't have listened, you could have DM'd me or anyone else and they could have talked to us. We could have compromised. Again, like I said, we could have just talked it out. It's the fact that we didn't because we went too fast and everything just erupted and we couldn't stop it. It's like, it's the same things as you're a turtle chasing after a Ferrari. You can't keep up with it. It just gets ahead of you. It just, do you know what I mean? Like, it just, our pace, the entire base of our problem was the fact that we went too fast. If we had just gone even a little bit slower, we could have worked things out better than it did happen in our current situation now. Exactly, because we were too fast. I've just checked my watch, and the entire time my heart rate was from 130 to 170. My highest heart rate in this entire 73 minutes was 156. Or sorry, not 156, 176. My normal resting heart rate is 120, even though for normal people it should be 80 to 100. It's because like I said, my heart can't keep up. My heart doesn't get enough blood. It doesn't pump enough blood. So my heart rate is always high. And that's why I always have life-saving medication on me if it is needed. I never wanted any of this to happen. Like, I just wanted us to be normal together and just, like calm. We could have worked things out better than it did happen. Exactly. None of us wanted this to happen. And you tell me if I'm lagging or not. Am I lagging at all? I think I was lagging. Is it better? Okay. Okay. To everyone that's currently in the stream that was in our Discord server or stuff like that, Ruby has just told me that after this stream, which I'm probably going to end now because it's already been over an hour, we're going to talk about it because the points I've made she has agreed with. She just texted me, sorry Ruby, I can't answer your call because if I answer the call, the stream will end because I'm on my phone and my WhatsApp is on my phone. So I'll call you right after I end the stream. But we are going to make a group and we are going to talk about it because the points I've made, I hope we all agree on the points that I've made, and I just want the situation to be sorted. So if it's okay with everybody that was involved, that was in the Discord server, if we just make a group and talk about it. I just ask that we go at a slow pace this time instead of erupting. I just don't want the same thing to repeat where everyone's typing at the same pace and our chats are being buried and no one can get their expressions out. So I just want, what we're gonna do is, right, Summer, for now, I'm not gonna include you in it just for now. I'm just gonna let the rest of us talk. And if you want at the end, I can let you in and you can say whatever you want. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a group with the people that were involved in the chat, and we are all going to speak one at a time. And once we're done speaking, then people can give their opinions one by one. That way we can go at an even pace and we can talk it out properly. Is that okay with everyone? Okay. We can either do a call or a group. A call might be okay. Well, then we'll do a group if you can't call. Dragon fruit, it's fine if you have to have dinner. We just yeah, Ruby also has to wait, sorry, let me just read her chat. Ruby might be 10 minutes late. So I will create the group, but no one's gonna talk until we are all available. And I'm gonna ask if you guys can just let me lead the entire thing, because I just don't want it to get out of hand. So obviously I'm probably just gonna let Ari talk first, and then we go for our opinions one by one, and then the next person, and then one by one opinions, and so forth. Is that okay with everyone? If it is, if you don't mind, could you guys leave your Discord? Well, just Nori, Dragonfruit. Well, Dragonfruit, you don't need to. Nori and Angelic, if you're able to, just to leave your Discord username in the chat because I don't remember it, and I will create another server just so I can have the timeouts just in case. Okay. So I'm gonna end the live stream now, and if you guys could just give me a few minutes, I'm going to make a server, and yeah, that's fine too, Dragonfruit, that's fine too. Yeah, we can just do that. If you guys can just give me a few minutes, I'm going to make a server with everyone that was involved, that was either removed or is involved, like I said, and I'm gonna make a server, add everyone into it, and we're gonna talk when everyone is available, so everyone can get their points through. Thank you for your time, and I'm going to end the live stream now. Thank you to everyone who was here listening the entire time for this entire hour and 20 minutes. What's up? If you need to say anything, you can. No, it's okay. It's because I need to have the timeout controls. So I'm it will take me like a few minutes. But yeah, if that's everything, I'm gonna end the stream now. Thank you everyone for your time. So, thank you.